It's June the 21st, the beginning of summer. For many people, summer means sunshine, vacations, long evenings, barbecues, time outside, a lighter feeling. But there is another side of summer, a side we talk about far less. Summer at work. Because what I'm about to describe could happen today, tomorrow, or on any hot working day. In an office, on a construction site, in healthcare, in emergency services, in waste collection, in production. Because summer does not feel easy for everyone. It starts like an ordinary day, at least in the morning, 7:30 a.m. Jana opens the office door, puts down her bag and opens the window. A little fresh air before the heat arrives. The weather forecast already warned everyone. 32 degrees Celsius. It'll be okay, she thinks. And for now it is. But at 10 a.m., the air already feels heavy. People speak less. Work slows down. By lunchtime, hardly anyone feels hungry. And at 2 p.m., Jana stares at her screen and realizes nothing works anymore. The concentration is gone. Her head aches. Even simple thoughts feel exhausting. Still, she keeps working because everyone else does. Because it's just summer. Because no one says anything. And this is exactly where the problem begins. Because heat at work is much more than uncomfortable. Sometimes hot days reveal how well work is actually organized. Yes, hello and welcome to another episode of Work Health Me. I'm Andrea Leipelt, occupational physician and general practitioner. And today we are talking about something that returns every year, but is still often underestimated. Working healthy during summer. We'll talk about heat, fatigue, concentration, workload, and what organizations can do to help people stay healthy and safe on hot days. Because summer may feel light and carefree for some people, but not everyone experiences summer the same way. Not in offices, not in healthcare, not on rooftops, not in emergency services, and definitely not in physically demanding jobs outdoors. So, today, let's take a closer look. Let's go back to Jana. What she doesn't notice is that her body is already working hard. Not for her job, but to cool itself down. Blood vessels expand. The body sweats. The cardiovascular system works harder. And all of this takes energy. Energy that is then missing for concentration, patience, and focus. Maybe you know this feeling yourself. You're not sick, but you're not really functioning at your best either. You read the same sentence 3 times, forget things, become more irritable, make mistakes you normally wouldn't make, and suddenly even a normal working day feels exhausting. This is often underestimated. Heat does not only make us feel warm, heat changes how we work, how we think, how safely we act, and maybe this is the first takeaway from today. Heat is not just a comfort issue. It is a health and safety issue. A hot office without air conditioning can already be difficult. Poor concentration, headaches, heavy air, long meetings. But many people work under much harder conditions. Construction workers, roofers, gardeners, waste collection workers, delivery drivers, people who cannot simply move into an air-conditioned room. Imagine standing on a rooftop at midday. The air temperature says 32 degrees, but the surface heat feels much hotter. Protective clothing, physical work, constant focus, and one moment of distraction can become dangerous. Or think about healthcare workers, long shifts, physical demands, protective clothing, responsibility, and often very little recovery time. Because some jobs don't stop when temperature rise. And this is exactly why good working conditions matter. Not after someone collapses, but before. So what can employers actually do? Because many people first think about small things, cold drinks, ice cream, fruit. And yes, those things are nice, sometimes even helpful. But healthy work during summer is not created by small extras alone. It starts with good working organization, better planning, earlier working hours, moving demanding tasks to cooler times of the day, extra short breaks, shade, ventilation, cooling options, and leadership that openly says, "Today will be difficult. Please take care of yourselves." That sounds simple, but it matters. Because it tells people your workload is seen. You don't have to silently struggle. Prevention often starts with attitude, not only with measures. And maybe this is another important thought. Good occupational health and safety does not wait for problems. It plans ahead. Because summer is not a surprise. It comes every year. And for people working outdoors, prevention becomes even more important. Sometimes simple adjustments can make a better and big difference. Starting work earlier in the morning. Moving physically demanding tasks to cooler hours whenever possible. Providing shaded areas for breaks. Making drinking water easily accessible. And also protecting people from UV exposure. Because heat is not the only risk in summer. Sun exposure matters too. Appropriate clothing. Lightweight long sleeves when suitable. Head protection, whether a safety helmet with neck protection, a hat, or a cap depending on the job. Sunglasses with proper UV protection where appropriate. Because prevention should not start when someone already feels dizzy, exhausted, or sunburned. There's one thing we often talk too little about: leadership. Because leaders shape how safely people get through demanding days. Can employees say, "This is becoming too much for me"? Is it okay to take a break? Or is there silent pressure to just keep going? Especially in hot weather, people compare themselves. No one wants to seem weak. No one wants to complain. And sometimes people keep pushing along after their concentration has disappeared. Good leadership notices and sometimes simply says, take a break, drink some water. We'll adjust the plan. That is not weakness. This is good leadership. Because healthy performance also means being able to perform tomorrow. Maybe summer is actually an honest stress test for work organization. On normal days, many things somehow still function, even if staffing is tight, even if communication is not ideal, even if workloads are high. But heat makes weaknesses more visible. Too few breaks, too much pressure, poor planning, not enough flexibility. And suddenly we realize maybe work was never organized as well as we thought. Sometimes hot days reveal what needs improvement. And maybe that is not a bad thing, because real change often starts when we ask, what do people need to stay healthy, even on difficult days? Before we finish, here are 3 thoughts to take with you. First, heat is real, even when no one complains. Fatigue, headaches, irritability, and poor concentration often build up slowly. Second, summer work needs planning. An office is different from healthcare. Healthcare is different from construction. Every workplace needs practical solutions. Third, healthy work is not created by extras alone. Cold drinks matters. Shade matters. Break matters. But what matters most is this. Work should be organized in a way that helps people stay healthy, even on difficult days. Maybe you recognized yourself in Gianna. Maybe you thought of people working outside. Healthcare workers, emergency responders, construction workers, waste collection teams, or simply colleagues struggling through hot office days. Summer does not feel the same for everyone, but good working conditions can make a real difference. So maybe this summer is a good moment to ask, how well are we actually prepared for hot working days? Thank you for listening to Work Helps Me. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to subscribe, share it, or recommend it to others. Because healthy work matters to all of us. Until next time, because healthy work is not about comfort, it's about staying healthy, safe, and able to perform. And don't forget, healthy work means better life.